Having trouble with your garage door? Problem solved. Call Direct Service Overhead Garage Door Company. We're your go-to team for garage door repair, new garage doors, openers, and more. We offer same-day service. We're always ready when you need us. Best of all, you can book your appointment online or talk to a live operator 24/7. No machines, no waiting. So whether it's a broken spring or a brand new garage door, trust the local experts at Direct Service Garage Doors. Call us today or visit directserviceoverhead.com.
Oh man, we're live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. It's our first Monday Night Lights live after a football game, after the Razorbacks played on Saturday. So yeah, we made it here. Awesome.
You don't regret it.
Yeah, so far.
I mean, after the first game, I'm not sitting here going, okay, let's basketball, please.
I was for a little bit.
Wasn't the first quarter, but
a lot of people were. A lot of people were in that opening quarter. Holy cow. All right. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Travis has joined us. He's in his truck. He's outside a strip. I mean, he's outside a watching his just kidding. Watch his kid play.
Yes, hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you great.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, and Tim Neal, of course, also with me. And boys, a lot happened this weekend, and I can't wait to talk about it and discuss and get into this thing a little deep,
yeah.
A second look. Because, the Saturday post game is always like reactionary. It's all of us, myself and Chad, going at it and having a good old time. By the way, for the folks in the chat, make sure you like, share. Sharing is caring. And hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification bell and choose to be notified for all content, not just whatever personalized content. Do it for every damn thing, for everything that we do here. But we do appreciate the support, and a big shout out to Patreon supporters. The month of August is come and gone. Obviously, we're in September. We'll have the updated list of Patreon names on the 5th, and we'll do the drawing for the cards, autographed former Arkansas player cards and whatever else we have, usually on the 5th or the 6th, somewhere in there. So just stay tuned. If you're in Discord, you'll know. You'll have a heads up. So, yeah, again, make sure you guys retweet on Twitter. I'm doing that myself as we speak. Let's see. What do we got going on in the comment section here really quick?
I want to know what happened to our background. What happened to our background? I leave for like 3 weeks and then we lose our background.
Damn, you're right. You're right. I messed that up.
My God, man.
That's a party foul. Our
graphics go to crap as soon as Travis leaves, man.
Yeah. James Swope says he loves the Monday shows. We're trying to keep these at 6:30 on Monday night, like we've said before. And we do appreciate. There might still be some weeks we might have to move things around, but typically we're mostly able to do this. Can't wait for this game on Saturday. Yeah, we're going to talk about that later on in the week. That's going to be an interesting one for sure. What's up, Ramon? How you doing, man? Long time no see, Ramon Shiesty. Hope you're doing swell. Haven't seen you in Discord in a while either. Heartbreak Hog, what's going on? Boss Hog says gentlemen's clubs also
Absolutely, man. You got to get the big ones in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mike's got a good point. You don't have the Tusk Talk tag.
I think I had to write it in there. It asked him for some description or something.
You have to show up more than once a month to get the Tusk Talk tag.
That's reasonable.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, so let's start off with probably some people are going to be a little bummed out by this if you haven't heard yet. Antonio Jordan is the receiver who did not camp. during his high school tenure. So he didn't get the star power, didn't get all the notoriety. But he certainly turned heads while playing football down at Warren. Antonio Jordan with a bad high ankle sprain, and he's expected to be out for another 3 weeks. I'm not gonna lie, a little disappointed in that. Was kind of hoping we'd get some better news from.
They're saving him for Notre Dame, dude.
Back for Notre Dame.
Saving him for Notre Dame.
You think so?
No, he'll be.
No, I'm asking.
3 weeks. 3 weeks. We got Arkansas State. This is 1 week. Memphis.
Ole Miss and Memphis.
Or no, I'm sorry, Ole Miss, Memphis, and Notre Dame. Saving for Notre Dame, man. That's all. It's all good.
Well, I don't know if they're saving him for Notre Dame necessarily, because I don't know that he would. Well, I don't know.
They would want him to get the reps.
Yeah, at least get rep. Yeah, I mean, that's what he's missing out on. Is he's missing out on these reps. You know, I mean, there's how many different receivers played on Saturday, right? He could have been one of those guys. And
I think it's safe to say he would have been one of those guys too.
I definitely would have. I think he would have gotten a target at bare minimum, for sure. So yeah, I don't know that they're looking at him as a. Let's not forget though. We sit here and say that he may not have been in the rotation. He was working with the twos for like a solid week, or maybe about a week or 2 weeks in fall camp. So
I have a question.
Answer.
You got an answer, dude. So I guess the question is Ismail Cisse. Is he what year is he in? Is he had the possibility of coming back?
Oh
being that he's out the entire year?
Yeah. He's a redshirt sophomore. I think he's still cleared for a medical redshirt. Technically, he's a redshirt sophomore. Have a number of those actually. I was looking at the roster today. It's like, wow, okay, CJ Brown's a sophomore. Monte Harrison, 30-year-old sophomore. Andy Jean, the transfer they got out of technically out of Pitt, he's a sophomore. Cam Shanks, sophomore. Jalen Brown, a sophomore. Ismail Cisse, a sophomore.
So that kind of a young wide receiver core. I like that.
It's young when some of these guys have, decent amount of reps, or snaps. So Monte Harrison obviously being the guy that doesn't have a lot of snaps, ironically being the
I was gonna say that's weird.
Raylan Sharp and Omega Blake are the super seniors. We already said CJ Brown. Courtney Crutchfield, redshirt freshman. Omega Blake, Raylan Sharp. Yeah, I already said that. Blah, 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 blah. Cross Johnson's a redshirt freshman. And so there you go. They are loaded to the brim with these younger receivers, and you love to see it.
I'll take it because we got a pretty good quarterback waiting in the wings too. It looks like.
Yeah. We need to talk about him too. KJ Jackson, although didn't score off the charts, but still looked settled in. He didn't look nervous at all to me.
Yeah.
So I get it. It's it's in front of a home crowd, and you've already got a big lead. You don't have as much pressure on you. I get it, but it's still good to see a backup go out there and just be like, yeah, no, this is business as usual. It's what it looked like to me. So, but no Antonio Jordan for at least Notre Dame. This is a guy you kind of wonder how much does that push him back, with these other guys now getting all these reps. Does Courtney Crutchfield finally come along? It's certainly he didn't do much in this first game. Another guy.
Gonna say, did he even play in that first game?
He had hold on. Let me look here at the receiving notes.
The way Bobby Petrino talked about Crutchfield, that guy might as well came in with one leg cut off.
Right? Came in out of shape.
Yeah. He said he was so out of shape that he didn't know if they were going to get him into playing shape again.
Yeah. Crutchfield didn't get which we know he didn't get a target. I don't know if he actually got a snap or not. But I know he didn't get a target. So yeah, I don't know. But with the weeks that they're gonna have, and so Ismail Cisse's, he's out for the year. We know that. That's old news. Now we've got another freshman that's out. And we'll see moving forward kind of what this all what it looks like by the time you play a real quality opponent like Ole Miss, kind of who your top dogs are. Of course, I think we have a pretty good idea who one of them is for sure. He's on the thumbnail for this one, but Yeah. So the other injury, and this one is not new either. This is not a brand new injury. By the way, Jordan's injury was not game injury. By the way, just FYI, David Oki is not going to be available for Arkansas State. Now, again, we kind of knew that. Pittman said 2 weeks. I'm thinking he's going to be out at least. I don't know that we're going to see him for 3. I don't know that we're going to see him until maybe. I don't know. I don't think we're going to. Obviously, we're not going to see him for State, and I don't think we're going to see him for Ole Miss. I hope I'm wrong.
That sucks. We need depth for Ole Miss for sure.
He had to remember. It's we don't know exactly what the injury is. Like, I think it had been rumored, and I don't know where this actually started, that it might be a meniscus. And Tim might know more about that.
I actually don't.
Okay. Well, David Oki's, I think he's going to be out until, I don't know, maybe at Memphis or something.
Yeah, and there's really no use in putting him in if he's hurt anyway.
That's why I don't know that he's going to. I mean, he may be healthy. I could see Pittman coming out and being like, yeah, he's healthy for Ole Miss. But typically, especially when it comes to the knees and a player at that position where center of gravity, is everything, where you're using your legs, you're using your knees, you're doing a little bit of bending and you're putting pressure on your knees. I don't know that that's a thing that you just want to throw him out there, Now, maybe if you're getting absolutely blown out and you just want him out there to get a few snaps, maybe I could see Oki come out there and get some opportunities. I just have a hard time seeing him be ready. But then again, like I said, we don't know the exact injury. He could be healthy for Arkansas State, and they just hold him out for all we know.
I mean, Pittman said he won't be ready for this week, but he did say there's a possibility for Ole Miss. He said what that possibility is, I don't know, but I think there's more possibility than I thought last week. So apparently he's looking better than they thought he would be by this time.
Well,
I remember they said Oki had to get his knee trimmed. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. That's Pittman's. Yeah, that's Pittman's way of saying we're gonna have a minor surgery.
So I don't know that I buy that he's going to be ready for Ole Miss. I just don't. I mean,
I don't see it.
Well, he didn't. He said it looks more like it than he thought it did last week. Last week he didn't think it was a possibility. This week he says maybe because he's farther along than I thought he was.
Well, maybe in practice he's actually showing them that he's a little bit further ahead. Maybe the exercise bike that they put those guys on, maybe he's not slowing down on the bike. I can remember at practice walking by those guys on your way out when you're in the media and you're walking out. You always walk by the guys, all the injured guys, and they're always on the bikes working their asses off. So maybe he's looking good on the bike. I don't know. But hey, listen, whatever the case may be, they're going to need him for someone like Ole Miss. And hell, they may need him against Arkansas State. I don't know. I realize they played a crap opponent, but they weren't exactly atrocious on the offensive side of the ball, but we're not going to go. Right. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole. So Xavier Story, we know that he had a hamstring issue during fall camp, but he obviously played. Didn't grade out well at all, despite, which is strange, having I think he had like 3 pressures according to PFF, but yet they grade him out at like 35.4. But he has, let me look at this again. Hold on.
Yeah, his PFF numbers were not great for this week.
Yeah, they give him credit for 3 hurries. How do you have 3 hurries and grade out at like, 35.4? Well, I mean, to be fair, his pass rush grade is actually pretty good, 69.3. So
sorry.
Let's see. A-State wide receiver is the business. Yeah.
I heard the quarterback's nothing to wipe your nose at either.
Well, yeah, the fact that he's back. Arkansas 1-11, says Earthman. Yeah, okay, buddy.
Yeah, Earthman's killing it. He's pumped.
Wow.
Everybody's ready for football season.
Yeah, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. There's some optimism right there.
Hey, silver lining. 1-11, you get a new coach, guys.
Yes, we we should have more optimism than that for sure. But there were some concerns in that game, especially in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were some concerns. Yeah, we ended up blowing them out, but
I want to see.
we
Yeah,
didn't get a whole lot of
two
defensive pressure
series.
on their quarterback without going into cover zero. They got more pressure out of their defensive linemen than we did, and that's sad.
I think we knew from the jump the D line was going to be a weakness.
But it shouldn't be a weakness against an FCS opponent. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's a weakness against Ole Miss. Maybe it's a weakness against Memphis, maybe, but against Alabama, defensive line's a weakness. I mean, Bentonville High School should be able to get as much pressure as we did in the first quarter.
I know ready to hang it up.
I'm shocked. I am stunned that you wanted to hang it up after the opening quarter. Discord was going crazy, and people were just, typical anyway.
Bad.
Yeah.
Tim was going off in the group chat, and I was like, "Oh man."
Yeah, I was trying to keep up with about 3 group chats, Discord, also trying to watch the game. Yeah, it wasn't a good look. I mean, it's not as if Arkansas came out swinging like they did against UAPB last year, but this is a better opponent than UAPB. How much, I don't know. But I think it sounded like it was a communication issue. At least that's kind of what's being tossed around, that there was a communication problem and that they just weren't all on the same page necessarily coming out the gate. Now, I mean, that's forgivable game one, but this can't be a ongoing thing, right? And I can remember communication being the key at practice and them always talking about it and the staff talking about it and the players. And yet here we are again, right? Like, well, now they start the game out with some communication issues. But the good sign was that they recovered and then they just completely took over, as they should.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they figured it out, bro. They must have got a pretty good pep talk.
Yeah.
Sam said that there was a lot of mental errors on that. He's like, there's just stuff going on. So it's like, maybe it's fixable stuff, hopefully. Defense is definitely a concern. Offense looked a lot better. But Mike Washington has got to learn how to pick up a blitzer, man.
Him and Russell both.
Yeah. If the running backs ain't picking up blitzers, it's going to be a long season, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're and they had some of those issues last year with running backs not picking up blocks and tight ends struggling to block. It kept some players off the field. If you can't block in this offense with Petrino, you're that's it, buddy. You're donezo.
But that's Petrino's rules for tight ends too. Is like, if you're not going to block, you're not going to be on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James Swopes says our secondary looked like soft Swiss cheese.
Which is crazy because I thought our secondary was going to be the strength of our defense.
Really?
Yeah, well, with the cornerbacks they brought in and all the DBs and stuff like that, they brought in, 7 defensive backs?
It was, let's see, if you're including freshmen, I think that's right.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here. I was always concerned about our D-line. I'm going, all right, well, secondary would probably be okay, so maybe it'll be all right. Maybe we can run, a 3-3 or something.
Yeah.
Again, it's something. The first drive that Alabama A&M had made our defense look horrible. We shut them down after that, I guess, but just that first drive gives you concern for anybody who can actually pass the ball. I suppose anybody with talent.
Yeah, first series, I was like, well, we're going to be a Big 12 team. All right.
Well, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a lot like, I mean, honestly, it's probably going to mirror a lot of his 20, 09, 2010, 2011 teams that just bend, don't break. Willie Robson, defensive coordinator, I think that's what this year's going to be. And I think you're going to have to outscore a lot of opponents. Again, I know we're sounding way negative. There is some positive though. And this is a really good sign for the Razorbacks, what I'm about to point out here, at least from the offensive standpoint here. Only one drop from the supposed rotating receivers. Now, I think there were 30 better pull that up here. I think there were 36 total targets. And I think it's actually of the 32 targets, there's only one drop, and that was from C.J. Brown. Now, there were 2 other drops. Jacaden Ferguson, he dropped a ball that was thrown by, I think, K.J. Jackson maybe, and then Cam Settles had that drop later on in the game. So these are guys that are not expected to be in the rotation. Obviously, Settles is a running back. He might get some time this year, but highly doubtful at the moment.
We're pretty deep at running back. I think didn't AJ Green finally get on the field as well?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Wore them shiny slippers to play in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. So going on here, more really good signs here. Omega Blake had 55 yards after the catch. That's more than any other receiver had in receiving yards. He was a fighter after he caught the ball. He did not. There was an opportunity where he could have stepped out of bounds. What did he do? He fought and he gained a couple more yards. He's going to be a fighter with that ball in his hands. He may not be like the strongest guy on the field. He may not be a Greg Childs out there in terms of size for a receiver and strength, but Omega Blake showing a lot of tenacity. So speaking to that, Omega Blake forced 4 missed tackles. Combined with all the other receivers, that ends up being 7 total missed tackles forced by Arkansas receivers. 6 different wideouts caught a touchdown. 6 different wideouts caught at least 2 passes. Only 5 times were passes thrown with a contested wide receiver. So obviously, and again, Alabama A&M is who they are, and you ought to find some busted coverage. That's absolutely what I think where a lot of that's coming from. But still, there were even times when he was hitting. I think he hit C.J. Brown on a short crossing route or shallow crossing route. Omega Blake on a similar route. Where there's none of those throws, they weren't contested. And that's a really good thing to see, because I can even remember against Arkansas Pine Bluff there being some contested throws. And there were only 5 total in this game. And Arkansas did all of this in the passing game. Everything they achieved in the passing game, and they did it without a guy who everyone's been saying, including myself, could be a star in this offense, without Rohan Jones. So, I mean, that's great. These are good signs. These are things you want to hear. Plenty of bad things we could talk about with how they started, including the offense. Obviously, we're putting it all on the defense, but so those are just some bullet points there. If you want to take some positives away, at least in the passing game with the receivers, that's where you start. And I got
a possible like good sign for the running back room. AJ Green being, what is he, 3rd or 4th string? He was on the team. He was on the team that went 9-4, and he ain't even seeing the field. So that should at least give you some kind of glimmer of hope for the running backs that we have now.
Well, let's not forget, and that's a good point, because he's probably going to be behind Washington, Russell, and then he's probably the next guy up, unless Rodney Hill gets in there.
I think Hill may be 3rd, actually.
It might be. But also, let's not forget, this is also a cat that did not play a down of football last year.
Yeah, and he tore his ACL quick.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for Oklahoma State, because I think he could have been really productive in that offense. But
I was pretty happy he wasn't there against us. Not that it mattered.
Not that it mattered. Yeah, for real, man. Yeah. Washington also had a really nice catch.
He finally broke a pretty good run, didn't he? Heartbroken Hog just put in the comments, no rushing touchdowns. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that.
We didn't have any rushing touchdowns. He did break a 30-yard run. His average of 8.8 though is pretty darn good for any level of football.
Yeah.
Our coach always told us 5-yard run was a good run, back in the day. So.
Oh yeah, that used to be like the gold standard.
Yeah,
it's like if you're getting
you make 5 yards, let's go.
Yeah, if you're getting 5.2, maybe 4.5 on first and second down, like you're in business now. It's like if you're not close to about 5.5 to 6, you're just kind of vanilla anymore, which I don't think is fair.
8.8, what?
Aiden Grossman says, do y'all think receiver size will be an issue? They seem smaller but skilled. So what I said all off season, and I saw this what little time I got to see in spring camp, and then just talking to people who was there during fall camp. This is very reminiscent of that 2009, 2010, 2011 receiving core. Where you got guys that are a little bit shorter. Joe Adams and Jarius Wright were not 6'2", 6'3" receivers. Greg Childs was taller, and you could throw Kobe Hamilton in there later on, who was a taller target. But this is very reminiscent of that group. They've got speed. They've got guys that can make plays after the catch. I can't tell you as far as like how clean their route running is. I'm not that detail oriented when it comes to watching receivers. I can't tell you how clean it is. But it seems like if it was an issue, Pittman would have talked about it.
I look for separation more than a clean route or anything.
Separation
I'm looking for separation.
Separation is always something you want to spot when you're watching them. But they talk
about
which I
believe clean route running leads to separation. Also,
it does.
So.
Well, and what you do right off the snap. Right off the right after the snap. Let's see. Biggest question will be defense when they play tougher competition. Phil, the offense will be very good, but that defense will let us down in some games. A lot of shootouts coming.
I kind of agree. I still want to see the offensive line play better.
Yeah.
Camel Gang had a pretty good point. He said, once we face a real defense and they bottle Blake up. Oh man, it moved. What's the offense look like then? Don't look like you're going to run the ball on Texas or LSU.
Well, you're going to have those
running backs are going to do, man.
You're going to have that issue against teams like that because they have more talent than you. Of course, they don't. Who knows right now? Like we're going to get into here in a little bit. We're going to talk about like how the schedule shapes out, like how we feel about it now. And I'm going to ask the chat that. We're going to have XP question of the day, by the way, for post-game live chat. And that question is, have you changed your prediction or did you spot anything this weekend? And again, I don't know if Travis will be here because Travis has got to run here shortly, but if he is, maybe he can answer it really quick. But that is the question. Did anything happen this weekend? I realize it's week 1. I realize you can't overreact and all that, but maybe you watched somebody else play and you thought, okay, no, that team is now, maybe I don't have Arkansas getting blown out against them, and now maybe it's more of a 50-50 game. Or maybe you feel a little bit differently about Texas and what was going on with Archie Manning and that offense. Maybe you feel a little bit differently about LSU. I saw some people predicted Arkansas to win that game. Maybe you've changed your mind a little bit.
I changed my mind about 2 things because I won't be here. Mizzou, I don't think is going to be as tough of – I don't think they're as good as they were last year.
Okay.
For sure. They did smoke UCA, but there for a minute, it was looking – they were getting blown off the line by, UCA. LSU looks unbeatable. Now that LSU looks like a team I'm not looking forward to watching that week.
Yeah, LSU's – again, I like them to win the whole thing, the SEC. When it gets to playoffs, to me, it's like predicting.
It's so weird though because every single year, I've said this through the summer. There's that one team that we think is going to beat the pants off of us, like Tennessee last year, and then Pittman comes out there and somehow gets everybody keyed in, and we destroy them, or we win the game. And it's just like, what game is going to be that game? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It'd be wonderful to see them do that at LSU in
I wish we played Notre Dame like 2 games earlier.
Next week.
Yeah.
Well, like the Ole Miss week, because that quarterback's gonna get it figured out. He's a young quarterback, but I feel like the best shot at that one. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna beat them, man. And but who the hell knows, right?
Well, that's the thing. You get all this. There's certainly a lot of overreacting. Like, we had people in Discord saying, well, here's the most complete teams. And they put Arkansas in there as the most complete team. And I'm like, okay, wait. But we just played Alabama A&M. Like, we don't really know what Arkansas is.
Yeah.
I would not say they're in that
we don't
category.
know anything yet. We won't learn much about us until week 3.
Yeah, we're going to know for sure. And I think Arkansas State could tell you some things. I think it can.
Yeah. Yeah, if they start putting it on us, I'm going to get very concerned for
I'm with Tim that this could start off pretty salty. I do agree with that. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole yet, but I've got a lot to say about this.
I'm starting to lean more toward more what Tim's talking about as well, though I get more worried the closer we get. I'm like, damn. Maybe Tim's right.
Yeah, well, they've got a returning quarterback just like we do, and that
How much of that
offense
first quarter is just locked into all of our brains, though?
for Arkansas.
Like, yes, like
Oh,
we
I
just
mean,
see them
we
start
do
doing atrocious.
we do start slow sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, we shoot ourselves in the foot in the first quarter, first 2 quarters under this coaching staff for sure.
I just seem to like all the podcasts and things I've listened to, and even my brain, that sticks more to me than them doing what we say they were supposed to do in the first place. Like I remember the bad more than I remember. Oh well, they would, what if they finally kicked into gear and started doing good? I just keep thinking about like, oh crap,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
and
don't know.
I think something people do too, and I've got friends that do this. They'll look and see what like Arkansas State did against who did they play
SEMO,
again?
Southeastern Missouri.
Right,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, can do you know where their campus is? What do you know about? You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those kind of teams, and you freak out about that score, and you overreact, and you're like, oh nope, they're just nope. This is going to come down to the final.
No, I mean, if I was going to do that, then I would look at that game, that Arkansas State game, and I would go, they allowed 24 points to Southeast Missouri.
Yeah,
we're going to come in and not struggle on offense, but I might worry a little bit because they put 42 points up, that their offense is better than we think it is, because I just watched Alabama A&M in the first quarter walk it down our throats.
Yeah.
Like
it's just sticking in there, man.
7 plays, but I do think, listen, they got to get it right. You got to get the film right.
That's all I'm saying. We can't start. Not that I'm worried we'll lose, but I don't want to give them any kind of momentum or any good feelings. They're like, oh, we're actually performing out here. We belong. I don't want any of that.
I did see Tim B's comment, Ty, when you put it on there.
Yeah.
I've been saying that since the summer, man. Like he always does that job saving. He has that job saving victory.
Are you gonna be here do you guys want to come back on when we do a prediction for Arkansas State and all that? I don't know when I don't know if it's gonna be Wednesday or Thursday. Do y'all want to be here for that?
Yes.
Let me know the day. Yeah, just let me know which day it is, and if I'm available, I'm down.
Okay, because I would like to get like your thoughts and your predictions on that game.
Yeah, I got some stuff to say. I'm actually gonna look into. I'm gonna watch their game from last week because I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I'd like to catch.
All I watched was that's all the comments are talking about anyway. So
yeah,
everybody's moving on. We're like,
what do you guys have going on this weekend?
I'm just gonna.
I know I'm not gonna. I don't want to say because I know I'm going to say, oh, I'm free. And then I'm going to be like, or my wife's going to be like, yeah, I heard you say you're free, but you're not.
That's what I do for this
I'm trying to put together a good old fashioned game companion. That's all I'm trying to do.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
I don't know. Maybe.
It would be so hard to do from far apart.
Well, it's three different places. We all have to be keyed up and everything. I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
All right, I got a 70-inch TV.
People just don't typically watch them. Folks they would rather watch the game than they would a game companion.
Yeah, that's fair.
Listen to us.
That SEC podcast started doing watch-alongs. We've made the big time, boys. Our idea got stolen by somebody way big.
Well, yeah. To be fair, we're not the first to do those, but
that is fair. Yeah.
Predictions right now are pointless.
That's right.
Don't know anything really till week 3 or 4. Being consistent is what separates teams from good and bad.
I didn't say all that, but I did say week 3.
Listen, you can get a decent feel. Like I remember coming out of the game against UAPB, even against UAPB, thinking, okay, yeah, no, they're going to win. They should make a bowl game with this offense. It's explosive. And then Oklahoma State happened.
That sucks. That's all we were after. We're like, they should make a bowl game. That's all.
Yeah. Do a live game in the background and hide your heads.
Wrong with our heads?
We're getting score predictions.
Somebody do that.
We're getting score predictions, but again, we're not talking. Arkansas State's going to be later on. We're not going to get into that.
Yeah, no. I will say I'm pretty sure if I go back to last week's episode with Courtney that I said that this Alabama A&M game was going to be 52-10. I feel like that's what I said. I have to go back.
Did you really?
You probably did.
That's pretty good.
I'm pretty sure I did. So 52-7, I'm feeling pretty good about.
I don't remember what mine.
I kept thinking 63. I don't know why. Like 63 to like 14.
Okay, but Tusky, listen, bro, they just went to Clemson. Clemson is, some people are projected to win the national title. at the very least, they might be an outside looking in playoff team at the very least. And LSU went on the road and made that into a game. And I mean, I watched as much of that game as I could. I'm already all in on Nuss. And to be fair, like we always say, like take these predictions with a grain of salt. But we're damn sure going to talk about it though. So when people come in here and say like, "Oh, you should make predictions," that drives me crazy. Like, no,
I think it's the
we got a
caliber of
job to
opponent
do.
that LSU played versus, you know what I mean?
We got to make content, and we're going to talk about it. But Tusky, I hear you though. I hear you're not wrong. I'm not disagreeing with you. You're not wrong.
I'm disagreeing.
I hope they don't.
Yeah, I would love it if they didn't. If they shit their pants and look like absolute ass cheeks from here on out. Hey, don't forget to like, share, hit the subscribe button if you guys haven't already. Shout out to now I got to say August Patreon supporters, even though I don't have the list of updated names, but I do appreciate August. All Patreon supporters, whether you're still one or not. If you're not one anymore and you were, why don't you reconsider? Come back. Come join us. Plenty to talk about in the Patreon chat, and you get an opportunity at winning an autographed card if you're legendary status. Are you kidding me? Pretty cool. Pretty good stuff. I'm going to die when Clemson sucks. Sucks ass and loses to SMU in Louisville. I don't know. I really like that defense.
That would change the game a little bit though. Because it'd be like, oh, they suck.
Well, I mean, Notre Dame last year lost to who the hell was that?
That was a rough one.
And everybody counted them out after that too, by the way.
And they still ended up in the national championship. That's insane to me.
Yeah.
You can lose early. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You can lose it early. Texas losing to Ohio State means nothing in the playoff picture.
Oh,
Alabama losing to Florida State means nothing in the playoff picture today.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. You can lose early and still make the playoff.
Yeah, you can.
I think it depends on who you lose to. But
it doesn't.
Not so much.
Notre Dame lost to a nobody. Notre Dame lost to Grandma's basket weaving college.
And got their ass beat in the national championship.
I mean, I'm just saying it doesn't matter who you lose to.
Boys, unfortunately, I got to run. Next week I'll be full time. But
all right.
Yeah, we got weird football.
Oh well, you're about to miss a good one. But all right, we'll talk to you later.
I hate you.
All right, bye, Sugar Bear. Oh man,
I'm getting cut off over there. Let me fix my camera.
The to his point, talking about some of these teams. Like, look at this. Florida played Long Island Ice Tea University, for the love of God, and won that game 55-0. But yeah, going back to was there any game here in the SEC that you just were really surprised by? Like Auburn going on the road and beating
Alabama
Baylor?
was the game I was surprised by, honestly. Florida State beating Alabama was the surprise for me.
That's got to be it.
Texas, Ohio State, it wasn't a super surprise, but
I think
Florida State, Alabama was a surprise.
I've not been real big on. I'm not saying I don't think Archie Manning can't be something special. I don't know until you see these guys in games like this. It's really hard to know what they're really capable of doing. He was so highly recruited, my God. And for him to just, come out and play the way that he did. But let's not forget, Ohio State did just win a national championship and has a really stout defense. I don't think he's going to play that bad the rest of the year. I mean, obviously, right? He's hopefully, for Texas's sake, I should say, I don't really care. Honestly, I hope he crashes and burns on the field. But I don't think they're going to be that kind of team every week. He's not going to face a defense like that for 5 weeks. Exactly.
So
it's just like Alabama A&M,
San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston.
Right.
He isn't playing another defense for weeks.
Exactly. It's just like Arkansas is not playing another Alabama A&M, right? Like it's what we saw. You're not going to see every single week.
Right.
So I don't know how much better he is than what we saw, but my God, was it ugly throwing those balls in the dirt. He looked completely shook, but it's not an easy place to play at. And Ohio State was absolutely ready. I wasn't shocked. I thought LSU would win this game. I really thought they're going to beat Clemson.
Yeah, I wasn't shocked. I wasn't sure. I knew you were big on LSU. I wasn't sure, but it wasn't a surprise either.
Yeah. Yeah, Alabama losing is it. I mean, Alabama losing to Florida State.
I will say for 3 quarters, I was surprised by Virginia Tech.
Oh, yeah?
South Carolina. It's not that they were winning. I think they were at one point winning 8-7. But the fact that they were in the game through the third quarter at South Carolina, I was surprised.
Yeah.
So, and then all of a sudden, South Carolina scores 14. But yeah, there for 3 quarters. I was like, wow, Virginia Tech's giving them a game. That means South Carolina's probably not as good as we thought they were.
Wow.
But then they turned it on, so maybe it was just first game.
Yeah, they scored 14 in the fourth. And they were able to put it away. But Virginia Tech kind of. I mean, I watched off and on. I was able to watch that game a little bit. Certainly, for Virginia Tech, didn't do themselves any favors in that game. Like they made a lot of mistakes. Had they cleaned that up a little bit, it would have been a far better game. I don't know how many. I was impressed with South Carolina's defense, but to be fair, Virginia Tech last year was cheeks. That was not. When people think of Virginia Tech and they see that score, they're like, "Oh, I don't know what it is." Like the OG college football fans think immediately of the early 2000s Virginia Tech. That's not who they are.
They got Michael Vick back.
Yeah. Bring back Vick. Bring back Beamer, the other one, the older one, the dad. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know what to make of that game. I don't know if Sellers is being completely oversold. I don't know, man. I mean, he's fast, but he's not. I don't think he's faster than Taylor Green.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, it might have just been first game. Second week is going to be a lot more telling. I think even some of these teams that play nobodies, it'll still be telling.
Yeah,
as far as what happened in week 1, was it jitters or are you really just not that good?
Yeah. Did you watch any of the Mississippi State Southern Miss game?
I did not watch 1 second of it.
Oh man, Shapen made me look. Oh God, he missed some easy throws. He ended up not having a bad day, but in terms of completion percentage, he was 26 of 34 for 270 and a touchdown. But they did not look crisp. I know Southern Miss
won their 1 game this season already.
Yeah, they got their 1 game. Again, I said last week, I think they're going to be a team that's one of the more improved teams, but that doesn't mean I think they're going to win a bunch of games. They're just going to play better, cleaner ball. Man, was that I was not that. That didn't happen against Southern Miss, but they did end up pulling away. They scored 21 unanswered in the third quarter, and then Southern Miss got back on the board in the fourth. But yeah, probably the game that did surprise me was how easily Tennessee took care of Syracuse.
Yeah,
I just wasn't even 17 in the opening quarter. They went 17-0 in the opening quarter. They scored 14 more in the second, and they scored 14 more points in the second half. They didn't give up they only gave up 6 points in the third and in the fourth. So 12 points in the second half given up. Cuse was pretty damn good last year. And I thought this was going to be a shootout. I was thinking 42-40 or something. I thought Cuse would put up a little bit more of a fight, especially with what we don't know about this new Tennessee quarterback.
Yeah. How did he do? Let's take a look at that real quick.
He ended up throwing about 62 rate, 16 of 28, so 12 incompletions, 247. They beat him on the ground. With that offense, 248 yards.
I mean, that was 50-50 there. 248 rushing, 247 receiving.
Yeah, that's pretty balanced, isn't it?
That's very balanced.
5 total touchdowns, 3 through the air, 2 on the ground. Aguilar ran the ball 6 times for 34 yards. Yeah, they Tennessee. I didn't think it'd be that easy because I had some questions. But to be fair, I mean their defense is supposed to be pretty better, I should say. And then Mizzou, you're right. Or Travis was talking about Mizzou and Central Arkansas. Central Arkansas kind of was getting in the face of Prebula, however the hell you pronounce that quarterback's name.
Yeah, I think Missouri line play is not very good.
They look pretty soft.
I mean, it's one of those things. He made a lot out of busted plays. Prebula, and he was the backup, I think, to Horn. And Horn got hurt, and Prebula's not going to give that up now. That's one of those Tom Brady situations. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady, chat, but it's one of those situations where he's supposed to come in as a backup, and it's supposed to be a quarterback battle, maybe. But Sam Horn was supposed to start, right?
That was what I thought was going to happen.
But he is
Yeah,
not going to relinquish that. I mean,
Yeah,
he
that's over
turned
now.
so many busted plays into great plays.
He did.
But again, that he did it because the line played horrible, not
Yeah.
because Missouri's offense was so good, but their offensive line was so bad, and he had to turn busted plays into great plays, and he did a great job of it.
UCA definitely kind of opened up some things there. Like there's something you're going to look at on film, and if
Sure.
Missouri doesn't get these corrected, they might have a pretty long year. And then the other game was Auburn.
So
Baylor.
Baylor for me, I don't know how you felt about that game, but Auburn Baylor for me, it's not a surprise that Auburn won. I think they're horrible. I think Baylor was just as bad. Like I didn't watch that game and go, wow, one team is so much better than the other. I watched that game and went, wow, these two teams are crap. Hugh Freeze did not save his job winning against Baylor because his team played like crap. It's just that Baylor played worse.
They absolutely had no, and maybe Baylor's secondary, we got to remember who their coach is. Maybe their secondary was just that good. Auburn had nothing downfield. They could not stretch the field out. Now they didn't throw it a ton, and it's not like he had a ton of incompletions.
Passes.
Yeah, just 11 of 17 for only $108, and I don't think they were really probing to try and go deep. And again, you're not going to save your playbook. They're going to open it up against Baylor. They know that they had to win that game. Like this is a game. This is how you get off to a strong start. But the thing that really stood out was Sawyer Robinson throwing for 419 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, Auburn's secondary looked atrocious, man.
Almost every time he needed to come up with something, he came up with it.
Yeah. No, they couldn't run the ball, but they could certainly throw it. And they only ran it 20.
It's going to do that exact same thing to that Auburn defense all year long.
Boy, I'm telling you, their secondary looked atrocious, dude. I mean, it was so bad.
And I'm just going to say, you can't expect Jackson Arnold to run as many times as he throws and keep him on the field the whole season.
Yeah.
Not in the SEC. He's not going to run 17 times and throw 17 times and stay on his feet. He's going to be on the sideline dead.
Yeah.
I mean,
John Beckham disagrees. He says Auburn looked really good. Hugh Freeze is an offensive genius after. Okay, maybe he's being funny.
You weren't watching the Auburn game I watched.
Yeah,
I watched Gus Malzahn highlights.
I did not think I didn't think Auburn, like their passing game was non-existent and their secondary was just really bad. Linebackers looked like they were out of place. I watched quite a bit of that game. Not impressed with what they were doing on the defense. Run defense looked pretty good. They looked like they stuffed holes and did what they needed to do.
Quarterback should get more rushing yards than he gets passing yards. That's not what quarterbacks do.
Man, well, it's what they want to do.
130 something rushing yards, 108 passing yards.
Yeah.
If Taylor Green runs more than he throws, I think we're in trouble.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Hey, by the way, shout out to Travis Ford and Direct Service Overhead. Ever had a garage door break at the worst possible time? Yeah, we've been there. That's the Direct Service Overhead garage door, or that's why the Direct Service Overhead garage door company is the go-to company for garage door repair in Little Rock and all Central Arkansas. They offer same-day emergency service, and they fix everything from busted springs to brand new installs. These guys show up fast, get the job done right, and they actually stand by their work. So don't wait around. Call Direct Service Overhead today at 501-244-3667, or you can check them out at directserviceoverhead.com. Your garage door will what? It'll thank you. That's what it'll do. That's what your garage door will do. So go give Travis Ford and the boys. Always shop local, especially when it's a good guy like old Travis over there. So we've knocked out injuries. We've knocked out what the really good sign was. If you're just joining us, you're like, what's the really good sign? We kind of went over it step by step. The receivers looked really good. Yeah, it's Alabama A&M. No, I don't expect these kind of numbers every single week, but Omega Blake with the 55 yards after catch was nice to see. I think he's certainly going to have some more games like that. Omega Blake looks like a potential. I'm just saying he could be a potential star. He really could. And playing this Petrino offense.
It doesn't look like we have one receiver who's going to catch the ball all season long. Just one.
I was looking at UAPB a year ago, And it was pretty similar. They did spread the ball out a lot. And that would be my question. I was going to save that again for later on when we talk about Arkansas State later on in the week. But that would be my question moving forward. Are we going to see 8 different targets? Because that's usually when you look at offenses that spread the ball around and have success, that's one of the things they're doing, right? They're spreading the ball around. They're getting the ball not to just one guy racking up 12 targets like they saw with – I mean, Armstrong, I don't know how many times he was in double-digit targets last year. And to be fair, we have heard Green –
the only one you could trust.
Right. And we've heard Green say – I don't remember if this was an interview or a Hogs Plus thing, but we have heard him say that he's going to feed the playmakers. And Armstrong was a playmaker. It's hard to fault him for that, right? He just couldn't score. He had 1 touchdown all year, which is still crazy. But that's what they're going to do. They're still going to feed the playmakers. Don't be surprised if we see that again and it's Omega Blake getting all the targets. But I don't think that's what's going to happen.
It just feels like he's got more people he can turn to than he had last year. I know we have Tesla and the issue with him being apparently an amazing rookie in the NFL and not getting targets last year, really. But it just doesn't seem like when it was important, there was anybody else who could catch the ball but Armstrong. Anytime he went somewhere else, it was a drop or they didn't get open. So it looked like, and I know it's Alabama A&M, but it looked like at least CJ Brown can find open spots on the field.
Oh man.
It looks like there are guys who can make plays more than just one guy that you've got to turn to for 120 passes. It looks like there's going to be options for once. So
it was so good to see CJ Brown to do what he did. I really hope we get that or something close to that every week out of him. I mean, and they did target the tight ends a little bit, but not as much as I thought they would.
It just seems like when we've had our best teams, we've had 2 solid wide receivers, not just one. We had Lucas and Edwards. We had at least, I go way back.
That's
we had at least Adams and that group, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
We had Marcus Monk. It seems like we had one other guy on that team who's not coming to me right now. Who was pretty solid.
Later, even though it's a different offense, it's Keon Hatcher and Drew Morgan.
Yes, Keon Hatcher, Drew Morgan. They were solid both sides of the ball. I mean, both sides of the field. So if we just even have one that's reliable, unlike Broden, then that could go a long way for us this year.
It really could. And I hope again this is the theme moving forward. I mean, at the end of the day, if Blake is scoring and that's who you're going to target over and over, and this cat ends up with like 8 or 9 touchdowns on the year with 68 or 75 catches, it's so long as you're winning games and you're producing points and all that, I guess it doesn't matter at the end of the day. But I think you and I agree on this, and the chat agrees on this, that this offense is way more effective when you've got a handful of guys that can step up every week. And not very many teams can say that, and we don't know yet if Arkansas can. We don't know that yet. But I think we're gonna start to figure things out a little bit against Arkansas State, just in terms of what to expect moving forward. And then that Ole Miss game is going to really tell us what to expect moving forward, because that's obviously that's your first real big game of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I think Arkansas State's a good natural step up, right? They're not Alabama A&M for sure.
Yeah,
but they're also not Ole Miss, so it's the next it's the next progressive step to see where we are.
Matt says, I think Sharp will have a ton of catches this year. Again, he was someone else who wasn't super involved in terms of targets, but he showed that he could make plays. Well, he ended up with, he caught 3 of 4.
3 of 4, I think, yeah.
Yeah, 3 of 4. CJ Brown caught 4 of 6. So he caught 4 of his 6 targets. Jalen Brown, 3 of 4. I really thought Brown was going to light it up. I really did. I mean, he's one of your fastest receivers. He's that FSU transfer, a lot of hope on him. And the fact that he only got 4 targets against these guys, I know they're rotating in other younger players, but really thought he was going to play a bigger role. But then Omega Blake going 7 catches on 8 targets. He ended up with a really good grade, 90.7 overall grade with an 89.6 receiving grade. Yeah. So imagine if these guys stick around where they're at, what we saw this week moving forward. I mean, oh my God, Like this could, who knows, right? I mean, sky's the limit as far as what they can do on offense.
Yeah. I still want to see, like I said, a little better offensive line play. But they're all new together. First time they've all played together in a real game. So
yeah. Kobe Branham ended up having a really good game on PFF. He ended up with an 85.4 pass block grade with an 86 overall grade. Their pass blocking grades are actually really freaking good.
Good.
Marion Harris is the one who what a surprise. Who called that all off season? He's going to have a rough start. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad for Harris. And he did end up playing 2 different positions this weekend, to be fair, but he ended up giving up 2 hurries. And don't forget, there was still questions about what was going on with the running backs when it came to pass pro as well. Shaq McRoy gave up a hit, and it looks like, Braylon Russell, they're going to give the credit for the 2 hurries and the hit. So, they got to let Green, again, we've harped on this all year, but give that guy time. And something that I noticed, and someone pointed this out in the live chat in the post game, Green didn't mind staying in the pocket and trying to make his reads and complete throws.
It was better for sure.
That's something else that I probably could have added to the excitement part of this, right? Now, the downside, and we already touched on it, and I know chat's going to get a little jumpy about this, but their pass rush is still a giant question mark.
Yeah.
They're given credit for 9 hurries. And I have not rewatched the game from start to finish. I don't know. That doesn't sound accurate to me. I don't.
It doesn't sound accurate, but one of the things I was hearing from other commentators was we didn't get any significant pressure unless we put our corners on an island. That was the only way is when we put our corners on an island and rushed everybody else, and we got some pressure on the quarterback. But just relying on our defensive line, it wasn't happening really.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I was tagged in Discord about, I don't know what I'm looking at here. Are we looking at snaps played? Is that what we're, I don't know. Data in Discord tagged me in something. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at.
I don't know.
Quarterback hurries. Yeah, they've got Phillip Lee down for 3. Trent Whalen, they gave credit for a quarterback hurry. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so they're showing 9. Cam Ball with 1 and Quincy Rhodes with 2. I'm saying I don't know. I'd like to go back and rewatch that because I didn't think I saw 9 hurries. But they did end up with like three sacks. Is that what they?
I think so.
I think that's what PFF says.
I've got the stats here.
Yeah, and 1 forced fumble. I don't know. I didn't see the crazy amount of turnovers I wanted to see.
2 sacks on
takeaway. ESPN says that, right?
Yeah, 2 sacks on ESPN.
Yeah. So we know they got at least 2. I mean, we can go conservative and say they got at least 2. Curtis Johnson says we might eke out 5 wins this year. Man. Oh, John's pointing out, and I love this. John's right.
Go ahead.
When he chewed out Platt, did you see that?
Huh?
Chewed his ass. He was all over him. I think he missed a block. It was off a Taylor Green run. It was off an RPO, and the read that he made was he went off the left side, and Platt was out there, and it looked like Platt maybe he missed the block, but Green couldn't get around the guy. And all of a sudden you see Green stand up, and he's just like, he's getting on to, he's coaching him up, my friend. And it was, it's good to see. Really good to see.
I missed
that. Or throwing an interception. Okay. TG being more of a leader, and you love to see it. There were plenty of positives.
I might, I said, what did I say? 6-6. I don't remember what I said now. But I said we'd limp out of I know I said we would limp out of the season and lose to Missouri. Yeah. And after watching Missouri play, I might have to amend my prediction to 7.
Okay, so that's the segue into the XP question of the day, and one of the last things we're going to talk about. did this weekend have an impact on your prediction for the Hogs this year? Now, for Paul, who tagged me in Discord, that's after the live show. You get the XP after we're done here, and you post that question and tag me in Discord.
Let me just say that has nothing to do with Arkansas's performance.
Okay.
That has everything to do with Central Arkansas just knifing through that Missouri line. I mean, they made Missouri's offensive line look like trash.
So you're up to 7 wins?
I think I would amend mine to Missouri's going to have a bad year against real competition, and we will probably beat them for the first time in a while.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, that has nothing to do with us and more with I'm that unimpressed with Missouri.
I'm with you that, well, I don't know. Missouri they've been that team that has just found ways to make you like scratch your head, just in terms of like what to expect.
Yeah.
And they have, I mean, I think last year, I didn't think they would win. I thought they were 6-6 last year. I thought that's what they were going to be. And they ended up proving me wrong. I mean, they were better than I thought. Not much better, but they were better than I thought they would be.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. Like I don't like I've not changed my mind on LSU. I think LSU is just gonna rock Arkansas.
I'm not even changing my mind on Texas.
Yeah, I'm not either, because I'm not going to overreact to them losing 14-7 to the defending national champions in their place.
Right. No, not at all. But Missouri against UCA, and I mean, like I said, yes, he had a big game, Perbula, but a lot of it was busted plays that he turned into. There's a lot like watching Matt Jones.
Oh, man.
I mean, it was. I'm not saying he's Matt Jones. I'm saying it was a lot like watching that. Or Matt Jones, they might get through the line and he would make something happen that you're just like, oh my gosh. That final touchdown run by Perbula was one of those.
Yeah.
They were after him, and then all of a sudden it's just like the sea parted and he just runs. And you're just like, wow.
Auburn, maybe. I don't know. I had that as a 50-50 game with Arkansas winning. I think I'm going to keep it there. I don't think I'm changing that with Arkansas winning that game. I don't remember if I had Arkansas. I had Arkansas losing to Tennessee on the road, and I'm not changing that for sure. I actually want to double check that, because I did at one point. I was 50-50 on that game as to what would happen. Where is it?
That was another one. Jackson Arnold running the ball.
He looked pretty good running it, but that's about all he could do.
He did, but he's not going to do that against someone who's not Baylor.
Yeah. Where's my last week's prediction?
But I'm pretty sure I picked us to beat Auburn. So
I knew I should have cataloged this better, and of course I didn't. Here it is. I found it. Yeah, so I had Alabama. That was obviously a win. Arkansas State's a win. I have Ole Miss. I'm not coming down off my Ole Miss being a 50-50 loss. I'm not coming down off that at all.
It's a 75-25 loss.
At Memphis, that's still a W. Notre Dame is an L for me still. I know that's the big question right now because of the fact that they did give up some points, but Miami's pretty effective on offense. I was a little surprised at how easy it looked at times for Miami.
And we're not Miami at this point.
I don't think
so. 3 more weeks in we'll be something, but we're not Miami today.
Yeah, they got to clean some stuff up for sure. Miami looked like a playoff contender on offense. I mean, they looked pretty solid. A&M, I'm not coming off that, but I do think it's a W. It's still a 50-50. Nothing has changed for me. Nothing. LSU still an L for me right now. Texas is still an L, and I've still got Mizzou down. I'm with you on Mizzou. There's certainly some things that looked a little troubling for Missouri on that line of scrimmage. And for me, that right now is a 50-50 W for the Razorbacks. Yeah. So you've changed by 1. I'm staying the same.
You
so every week
to begin with, right?
Yeah, I was 7-5 to begin with.
Okay, yeah. I joined you.
You joined the dark side of the force. Who knows, man? I mean, they could surprise people and this be vintage Bobby Petrino 2010, just moving the ball on everybody and defense bend don't break. giving up points, having to outscore teams or force turnovers. That was the thing I wanted to see, and that was one of the questions in that game they did not answer for me, which was piling up pressures, piling up sacks, and forcing turnovers against an inferior opponent, and they didn't do that. And that's what gives me some trouble. And if you listen to Pittman today, I was actually in on that Zoom call. He did not sound real thrilled about what he saw with the defense. And
yeah, I mean, the score is it's great. We racked up points. We beat somebody we should have beat, and it wasn't questionable. But at the end of the day, when you watch the game, you kind of look at the final score and go, how is that the final score? We didn't play that well. We didn't play badly after the first quarter, but we didn't play so well that you're like, well, we just destroyed them. It didn't feel as good of a game as it finished, right?
Yeah, it was that slow start for sure. It was that opening quarter. And I can't believe, by the way, I had someone like challenge me on that in the chat after the show in the comment section. And I was like, are you high? Did you watch the same game? And it's a name I didn't recognize. I'm thinking, are you in the wrong place?
Right.
Like, did you think this was Tennessee, Syracuse? Like, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah, they got off to a damn slow start to where people were panicking. I mean, we had edge jumpers in Discord, like not just our Discord. It was everywhere. It was other Facebook, you name it. Hog fans were freaking out. Like, oh my God, we may really finish 2, and we might not even win another game, and then, obviously we were able to get it on cruise control and take care of business. But that opening quarter, and I'm with you, that can't become a reoccurring theme.
Right.
Or you're in some deep shit. You're in some trouble.
If you open that way against Ole Miss, you're in bad trouble. If you open that way against Notre Dame, you're losing by 30. I mean, you are. If you open that slow and that poor on defense, you're losing by 30.
And in a team like Notre Dame, you have to game plan for. You're not going to out-talent them for sure.
Right.
So you've got to – it's just like Tennessee. Tennessee had more talent than Arkansas. It was that game plan. That was one of the best well-executed games. I'm not saying it was flawless. I'm not saying it was perfect. That's the kind of game you're going to have to – and so that goes back to, maybe you need to have a 9-minute opening drive like they did against Tennessee and Fayetteville. Maybe you need to install that game plan and use that for Notre Dame, kind of catch them, play a little bit different on defense, maybe show them things they hadn't seen yet. But I doubt you're going to be able to do that because you got to play Ole Miss. You got to go to Memphis. And of course, I think they're going to open it up more against Arkansas State. So by then they're going to really know who you are. But yeah, I'm with you. They cannot start off this slow. They can't do that. This can't be a common reoccurring thing. Or yeah, you're in some deep shit. Cletus Mills says Ole Miss quarterback couldn't stop throwing picks. Yeah, it's funny, all the new quarterback play, not all of them, but like all the new quarterbacks, or the guys that maybe didn't get to play as much because of injuries or whatever, several of them played really bad or didn't play very good, didn't have the kind of showing we thought they would have. And some of them did. Some of them were a lot better. But there's so many questions. And again, it goes back to what Tusky, whatever, said in chat that, it is too early to make predictions. That is fair. But I this is why I don't think your schedule, this goes back to what I've said all offseason. I don't think it's a top 3 schedule. I don't. It's really tough. It's really tough. But you've got to break in all these new quarterbacks. You've got teams that are replacing so much of their production on both sides of the ball. And that's the new thing. I get it. And some teams did upgrade. Some teams did really well in the portal. But you kind of wonder about some of these other teams that everyone thinks is a playoff contender or an outside looking in playoff contender. I think South Carolina is one of those. Everyone's got them as almost a lock for the playoffs, even though Arkansas doesn't play them this year. But I've said all along, I think they're, the tail end of that schedule is brutal.
Yeah.
Holy God.
Well, and that start against Virginia Tech isn't promising. I mean, Virginia Tech's not Alabama A&M.
Fair.
That gives you a fair look at South Carolina. They're not great either, but they're not an FCS team. So that gives you a fair look at if that's where you're at against a very below average ACC team.
Yeah.
I mean,
King Command, who's a legendary status member, by the way. Shout out to him. HBCUs are tough. Those guys are an inch or two away from FBS, buddy. I don't know if he's talking to.
I'm not. I hope he's not talking to us. I'm not knocking HBCUs at all.
No.
So,
some pretty good transfers out of there.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying from an overall talent standpoint, no FCS school is really as talented or expected to be as talented as the entire program at a mid SEC school.
Yeah.
Right? It's just different.
John says South Carolina isn't an outside looking. I don't know what they are
either.
I think they're way overrated, and their line of scrimmage play was kind of questionable at times, and I don't know. Like there's certainly some things there. Like Sellers is good. I'm not saying he's not. I don't want anyone to think I'm like hating on him. But my God, they had Josh Pate was on. Maybe it was what's his name? Brain farting on the. Oh my God, the punter, the guy that has his own show on ESPN. He's on College Game Day.
No,
Pat
McAfee. Yeah.
He was on McAfee's show, and they're talking about him being a Heisman. And I'm like, have you seen his schedule? While South Carolina has talent around him, I do agree, but this is not like all-American caliber talent all around him.
No.
You need guys around you, and you need luck, and you need a schedule that isn't what they've got to do at the end of the year. My God, they closed the year out against Clemson.
Yeah.
So I think they're good. I think they're capable of going like maybe 9-3, maybe. Most likely they're an 8-4 squad.
I was gonna say they're capable of 7-5 too.
That's fair.
I mean, they are. So
we could be wrong, and maybe they are just the next greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't know, but they are making South Carolina out to be giant killers. And Josh Pate said, well, we have to change our frame of thought when we're thinking about traditional winning teams and all that. And that is true. I mean, my God, we saw TCU not that long ago make the playoffs when it was just a 14 playoff. Who the hell would have thought that? But it happened. Right. And so maybe South Carolina can get into the playoffs. I don't know, but I watched South Carolina play last year. I thought Sellers was good. I just didn't understand all the hype. And if you look at his in-depth numbers, his throwing depth, they're about the same as Taylor Green's. And he had a pretty good backfield to hand the ball off to. He had a pretty solid offensive line. I mean, they had the things that made them better. It's just, do they have the things to make them great? And I don't know that I'm there with South Carolina. Again, they look like 9-3 at best, most likely 8-4. I don't think they're a playoff team, but I could be wrong. Yeah, Pat McAfee. I can't believe I was brain farting on Pat McAfee. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know. What's up, Brim? How you doing, man? You guys make sure to like, share, hit the subscribe button. Sharing is caring. Share the tweet, the Tusk Talk with Ty tweet. You'd be awesome if you did it. I think we've, I don't know. I think there are a couple of teams all year. I just thought all offseason, I thought, yeah, they're just hyping these guys up way too much. I'm just not buying it. And South Carolina was one of them.
It's one of them for sure.
Boy, you got someone here. He's not a big fan. So Justin Williams says, no, we are not, Tim. Ain't losing no damn games by 30 this season. I think you'd said
if we slow started like we did against Alabama A&M against Notre Dame, we'll lose by 30. I stand by that.
I
stand by that. If you have a first quarter that is as bad as we played against an FCS team against Notre Dame, if you have that same first quarter, because one of the things that happens traditionally with Arkansas is we give up. I mean, we do. And this coaching staff is not one of those that can rally guys from 21 points down, or they're we tend to give up in the third and fourth quarter. And if you slow start Notre Dame, they're gonna roll you.
Well, let's not forget what happened last year. And you could give me the, that was last year, whatever. But Ole Miss did beat you 63-31.
Yeah.
LSU,
they weren't that much better than us. I don't feel like. I feel like we gave up.
and then LSU beat you by 24 points at home, 34-10. So I'm not saying that I agree with Tim that it's going to happen, but
I'm not saying it's going. I said if we have a
right. If those circumstances unfold, right, and I agree it could, but it's odds are no, they probably won't lose anything by 30, but they can't, or any game by 30, but they cannot start off slow. Where'd you find this guy, Ty? Justin, where you been, bro?
Oh man. So what should happen, Ty? Here's what should happen. When you asked me to come on here, I didn't realize it, but now I'm learning from the comments. What should happen is I should read the comments and go, okay, Justin Williams is right. Everything he says is right. I don't have my own opinion. I only agree with this guy. He's the best, most knowledgeable, knows everything about football. Next time I'll learn my lesson. We'll try that next week. No, we won't.
Treating Tim like a stranger. Yeah, he's only been on how many of these shows? Like, come on, man. Justin, you're an OG. Have you been dodging this show for that long, bro, that you don't realize Tim has been a regular here? I can understand Travis because he's not always available. I get that. Look at that. Stand your ground. Stand your ground, says Steven.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, listen, at the end of the day, who knows? We could all be right. We could all be wrong. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's just an opinion. That's what you asked me to come here for.
Exactly. He's still going up. We ain't losing by 30 to nobody. That's our new one, isn't it? We ain't losing.
Yeah, what you need to do is screen capture that right there and see how well that ages. Because LSU's coming up on that schedule.
Oh, LSU's so talented, dude. You better bring your A+ game just to be competitive in that bad boy. A lot can happen between now and then, but
look, I want to believe, and this win was a first step in me believing. But I'm not on the 9-10 win train yet.
So you mean this win combined with kind of what we've seen this week?
Well, again, we beat somebody, and we said this when Courtney was on last week. I think we beat somebody like we should beat them. It felt weird. It didn't feel like we won 52-7. It was the slow start that made it feel like it really wasn't that good of a game. But at the end of the day, we beat them like we should have. So many times we have played to the level of our competition and struggled. We struggled against Missouri State a few years ago. I mean, we have played to the level of our competition more times than I care to admit. And so we didn't do that. And that alone sparks just a little bit of belief. It's a step in the right direction to beat somebody the way you should.
Yeah.
I think I predicted 28-10 or 28-17 Arkansas State. I know that chat's going to be like, oh, what the hell? But I said that last week. I think I said 28-17. I said Arkansas State would start out strong. We'd come out and slow start Arkansas State, and then we'd wear them down in the third and fourth quarter and end up handily beating them. Right. So I know that made everybody in the world mad over there.
No, Justin Williams is your arch nemesis. I think.
Okay. I don't care. I don't care. So anyway, if we come out and handily beat Arkansas State, even though it's not supposed to be a game, really, it's another small step to say, look, we beat somebody we should have beat, and they didn't hang around. I think they're going to hang around more than most people think so. Because I think we're spending more time on Ole Miss than we are Arkansas State, and we're overlooking them. But I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Oh,
wait,
man.
Justin said you're damn right, Tim. So I must be right.
He's your arch nemesis, bro. Hey, I've got a couple. Okay. I've got a couple that come through that
okay, I could handle
it. I used to have a lot more. I don't know where they went. I guess I don't know. Kick Science hasn't come through in years.
Ain't beating us by no damn 29.
LSU ain't beating us by no 29 points. Again, it goes back to what Tusky said earlier on in the show. We don't know who's capable of what. Really, we only started putting this puzzle together Saturday, and we don't have all the pieces yet. So
I read Justin Williams like this.
I don't have farmer.
That's how I read his comments. See his comments, and I see his comments. I'm just like,
oh my god, man, it's so good to have football back. I don't care if we don't always agree with Chad or with each other. I'm just so happy to have it back, bro, and I'm glad that everyone's back. And we crushed on that Sunday or the Saturday post game. We had a bunch of people in here for that. That was awesome. We got to put in Malika super chat. If you super chat me, I will always do that voice. If you super chat that, and maybe the higher the super chat, maybe I'll really get into it. I'll change it up maybe a little bit. We need a Wheezy call in.
man.
Put in Malika. There you go. I've never seen Arkansas lose a damn game before. What? I've never seen Arkansas lose a damn game before.
We've run out of time a few times. I like it.
I
like it. In other words, we didn't actually lose. We just ran out of time before we won it.
Okay.
I like it.
We'll take it. Whatever. We'll take it. Oh, we got it again. He wants it again. All right. Put in Malika. And then we got to do Criswell, too. Don't forget about Criswell. Put in Criswell. See, I'm doing it for free. If you're good at something, never do it for free. Name the movie.
Oh, shoot. Wolf
Name the movie. Nope. That's a good guess, though. That does sound like something you'd hear. If you're good at something, never do it for free. I know someone's going to get that. I'm not. We're going to keep going. There it is. He got it. Dark Knight. That's right. I'm going to make this pencil disappear. It's a great movie. Look at that. Now they're coming in. Dark Knight. There you go. So, yeah, again, going back to what we said, that is the XP question. After this live chat is over, after we're done here, in the comment section, did anything happen? And it doesn't have to be about Arkansas's performance. It can be about the rest of the league.
Yeah.
Maybe you weren't that. Maybe you think Texas is way overrated and Arkansas can absolutely beat them down in Austin. I still think that's a stretch, but maybe you disagree. Someone told me in chat that Clemson was way overrated and that LSU's win, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, so then maybe you think that LSU's not as good and Arkansas could win down there. However, maybe you think, we're all wrong and we're going to go 2-10 this year. Let me know after the live show is done in the I mean, you can tell us now, but just make sure you do it again after the live. Dabo is still Dabo, but again, that defense is playoff level good. It is playoff level good. The offense is always going to, I know they're pretty big on that quarterback, but let's put a smile on that face. So many good quotes out of that movie. Such a good movie. Such a good. What's your favorite of those three, of the Christopher Nolan Batman movies?
Oh, the second one for sure.
Yeah, Dark Knight.
Yeah, Heath Ledger put on such a performance. I really didn't even care for the third one that much. The first one was good, but I think the second one was kind of the peak.
Yeah, second one was. We've not had a superhero movie like that.
I think we got the third one. We got a fallback plan because the idea of my understanding was to bring back Heath Ledger for the third one. And then of course he died, so they couldn't. And so we kind of got a fallback plan.
They got 5'6" Tom Hardy to play Bane.
Yeah,
that was a great move. I love Tom Hardy. Don't get me wrong, man. His Road Warrior is fantastic. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would pay Ty to never do the Joker voice again. Well, you don't think it's very good, or is it too good? Which is it? You don't think it's very good? I can't do. Let's put a smile on that face. I can't do that one very well, but I can do the. I can do the other one that I did earlier. I can do that one pretty good. Babe. Oh, Cletus here is trying to say that Bane was a great villain. Oh, yeah.
With the high voice.
Yeah.
I can't even.
I didn't mind it. It kind of gave the character a little flair, I guess. I don't know. I liked it. I thought he did good. Let's see. Put in Criswell. Yep. No bueno. Okay. Michael's not a fan.
Logan was a great Heartbroken. Logan was a great superhero movie. I mean, there was nothing else like it either, really.
Yeah, Logan was good. It was good. It was good to see Patrick Stewart again. But it was so dark and depressing, you know.
It was dark and depressing, but it wasn't like everything. It's not like Marvel really set this standard and then they couldn't break their own mold.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man's a great movie and Captain America's a great movie, but not every single Marvel movie should have been in that mold for the rest of time. And that was a problem.
Yeah. Do you feel in charge when he puts his hand on that guy? That was a moment in the theaters, man. That sent shivers up my spine. All right. Anyways, we don't have to go down the road of comic book movies, but
that's what I have a podcast for, which we've been on about a month-long break, but we should be coming back next month.
Well, you need to come back. You need to have something for me to watch while I'm doing research.
Like you watch this.
You merely adopted. Yeah, you merely adopted the dog. I was born in it. This man just said Road Warrior, like any of these people know what he's talking about. We got some OGs in here. John, we got some OGs that know Road Warrior. Mel Gibson, huh?
That happens to me all the time with Razorbacks. I will say something like JJ Matters, and everybody here is like, who?
Yeah.
How good is that?
Yeah. Some big names out of the 90s, like Barry Foster.
Remember when we had a 5'6" receiver who was catching touchdowns on everyone?
Reggie Fish? Was it Reggie Fish? Like,
he was like 5'6".
Oh yeah, man, yeah. Wasn't Reggie Fish like 5'8", 5'7"?
Yeah, he was pretty short too, I think.
Oh yeah, Jodine Davenport. Yeah, there's no G. Yeah, some of these kids they have no clue who we're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Again, I do appreciate everyone for being here. Please consider signing up for Patreon so I don't have to bring on more sponsors. I like it where it's at. We got Travis as the sponsor. We got Patreon as the other source of income that keeps this channel afloat. So please consider joining Tusk Talk with Ty Patreon, and you get complete access to Discord and things open up for you, and you get some really good insider information. By the way, we beat out a lot of people for information. You can ask John Hawes in chat. We've got Courtney Mims in there who's been feeding us some really good stuff. In basketball, we've got you covered too. You best believe we got you covered for basketball if you're a Patreon supporter. So please consider signing up. And of course, a shout out to Direct Service Overhead and my co-host for the evening, as always, Tim. Thank you so much, man.
Oh, we suck again.
Oh, oops.
Did you mean to play that one?
Thank you so much for being my friend.
All right, everybody. We'll be back later on in the week. We're going to discuss Arkansas and Arkansas State. I can't wait. I'm really excited for this one. I say that I'm just excited football's back. I don't want to get started on Little Rock. We'll have to touch on that one next live show. But until then, I will see you guys later on. Please enjoy the rest of your Monday night.
Yes.